gang, Eric Andreas, your Guitar Sage here with Tim, sound and audio video guy extraordinaire and a great guitar player. So he's the guy that does a lot of our video production here. And going to do a lesson with him today actually. He's going to be showing us some really cool things. So, so Tim, this song, Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, right, by Willie Nelson.
Yep.
What chords are you using in this?
Well, the song's in E major, so the main two chords you're going to be using are E major and B7. There's also an A in the song. It's in kind of a chorus, I guess. But there's also some walk-ups and little flourishes here and there.
Okay. Okay. All right. So so basically E, B7, and A. Which, if you don't have these chord forms, check out ebook 1 at YourGuitarSage.com, or it's actually in the free ebook as well. So you can click that link below and get those chords. But you were doing some other stuff here, something that I refer to as chord noodling. So the students that have watched a lot know this phrase. But as we were talking earlier, so Tim, when he's thinking about solos, he's not actually really thinking about shapes so much. Is that right? You're doing more like
That's right.
Playing by ear, or
Yep. I play by ear. I've played for a while, so I know like that little ditty I was doing earlier. I know it probably wouldn't sound good to go because it just doesn't work right. I mean,
that's what I call a hoop chord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Nice.
Yeah, I'm still staying within the scale, but I just kind of like the way those shapes sound. So
And all three of those notes sound really nice, and the one that you showed us does not. But that fourth one, and so whether you're playing by ear, whether you're playing with patterns or what have you, you're a lot of times going to come out with the same melodies and what have you for solos and stuff. It just kind of depends on how you're going about it, because we mentioned earlier that a lot of times, most folks when they're learning how to play guitar, that's what they do, is they start playing by ear, whether it's Smoke on the Water or whatever, and they're using their ear to find these locations on the guitar. But ultimately, we kind of always gravitate back to this major chord or major scale sound. And so what you were doing there, right there, that's the first 4 notes of the major scale. Right? So, so you're right in line there, not using any patterns or anything, just using your ear. So we've mentioned this before, that playing by ear is a great way of learning as well. So if you're wanting to noodle over the top of this, say with more of a sure pattern or a map or something like that, there's different things you can do. You can chart it out yourself. I believe that I have the E major chord maps or fretboard maps in ebook 1, and I know for sure it's in ebook 1. It may be in the free ebook. I'm not totally sure about that. Check it out. But nonetheless, okay. So also some other cool things you were doing there when you were playing. You were doing kind of an alternating bass line. Can you show us what you were doing there?
Yeah, I was so adding the B in there. And then into the B7.
Okay, nice. Yep. So this alternating bass line that you hear a lot of times, like in country music, especially like these old school tunes, you can alternate in between the 1, which is the letter name of the chord, and oftentimes the 5, which is the 5th note of the scale that corresponds to the chord. So for instance, if it's an E major chord, then if you use the E major scale, you could play the 5 or the 5th note of that scale and alternate between the 1 and the 5, and it sounds real nice. So for instance, E major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So use that fifth note, which is a B, then that's what Tim was doing here, was alternating between the 1 and the 5. And so it gives it that kind of. Then we went to the B, the B7, and we used the corresponding major scale for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then that alternate bass note is an F sharp, and that's what he was doing here by going. That sort of thing. So, and that scale is a really good scale to know, either linearly across one string or across several strings, because then we can kind of figure out the theory and what have you to a lot of these. So if you need some of these scales here on YouTube, you can type in YourGuitarSage major scale, and I have a few different forms. I've got this form, which I call form 1, and that's the 1 octave, and then there's a 2 octave, and then there's a linear scale across the strings. So check those out. Okay, so you are noodling in the key of E major on this, and then okay, can you show us also the little runs that you did? You did some kind of bassline walks and stuff.
Yep, in between the E and the B7 chord. So
okay, so a little chromatic walk up. So that's 0, 1, 2.
Yep.
Which leads us to the B7 chord. And then there was another one that you did leading from the E major to maybe the B7 or an A.
Yeah, going from the E to the A. There's another section.
Okay, nice. So 0, 1, 2, 4 on the low E string, and then that leads us to the A string. And again, you're alternating between 1 and 5 again. So the rule is, if you want to do this kind of country alternating bit here, where it's so prominent and gives it that country sound, alternate between the 1 and the 5. Okay, if you have issues with knowing that that 5 is, you need a little bit of music theory. So follow these videos, get that free ebook, go to unstoppableguitarsystem.com, watch those free videos, and start getting this knowledge so that you can start playing like a ninja. Okay. Tim, thanks for joining us today. We're probably going to see a lot more of Tim, so stay tuned. Get that free stuff. If you have any questions, hit us up on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff. I'll answer your questions there. And yeah, that's it. Practice your guitar and spay and neuter your kitty cats and your dogs.